Hello and welcome back to this House of Walls. Today we are going to be talking all things third grade curriculum, and this is so exciting. I am so happy to share all of the resources that I have been gathering. So as always, pull up your favorite drink. Today is coffee. Usually it is some form of coffee. So pull up your favorite drink and let's get started. I have Millie here as my little helper today, and we are going to get started. If you follow me on Instagram, this past week I kind of had I don't know what you would call it, a heart-to-heart with myself, where I want to simplify our homeschooling and what we are using, how we're using it, and when we're using it. That's the biggie. I have let things fall off of our schedule just because we haven't had the time or schedule in our life to do it. But they're important things that I do want to incorporate. So I sat down, and this is my little cheat sheet that I'm going to go off of today. As what are all of the things that I would like to incorporate next year, and what are the main things, and then what are kind of the fillers and extras. So in doing that, we are going to have about 6 things a day that hopefully we will get done in the morning. And then if we have the opportunity in the afternoon to come back into the schoolroom, we can do the fillers. If not, that's fine. We can get to it another day. We do have one day a week where we are part of a co-op, and that's usually Thursdays. I'm hoping to do another Thursday afternoon like we are doing this year. That would work great because then we can still get some schoolwork done in the morning on Thursdays. And then we are part of a little homeschool play group that meets on Fridays. Those are going to stay the same, so I want to make sure that when we're not doing those things that we're really hitting those main points. Let me start with our main 6. Our first thing, and you have seen a little flip through, is the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts. This, even though it's for my 3rd grader, we are starting at level 2. I do think that there will be some things that we can skip over or go quicker through, and so that'll be perfect. I will say the Good and the Beautiful tends to be about a grade level ahead, so if you're looking into that, just keep that in mind. He is really excited about starting this, so this is our main course book. There are a couple things that I still have to go through and edit for our secular family. If you want to see how I have made the first 40 lessons work for his secular family, I will link that video above. But he's so excited about starting this. So along with this, we have the Reading Booster Cards C, and I really like how these are all laid out. And I think that he'll enjoy doing them. We have the readers that go with them, and the nature reader. And so again, you can see there's some that I still need to kind of go through. Along with the language arts is art, and so I got him this little sketch pad. I think he's going to be doing watercolor. So this is heavyweight paper that he'll be able to do some watercolor on. Now, to kind of go off course just a little bit, this is one of our things for our daily 6. Sometimes the Good and the Beautiful, we will do their whatever kind of writing assignment they include in it. If that day doesn't have a big writing assignment, or I have edited it to fit for our family, I will be pulling in other things for writing. I have a couple different things here for writing. My soon-to-be 3rd grader is a reluctant writer. He can write, he just kind of gets a little stressed out about it, and just kind of puts on the brakes. He is doing fantastic though, and is making a big growth in his writing. One of the things that I have just done is I printed out these flashcards, and it says write a sentence about, and gives 3 words. And so he will verbally tell me what that sentence is that includes these 3 words, and then he writes it down, which is fantastic. That's very much so what our curriculum for writing has been this year, kind of idea. And so this just kind of takes it a further step. I do have this Evan Moore real world writing workbook, and this takes him into writing a journal, a bumper sticker, an email message, a greeting card, persuasive letter, pet care directions, fundraising letter, video game, and movie review. So I think that this will be fantastic to pull out on those days where we just need a little bit of extra writing. And then to dive into writing a little bit more, we are going to try writing in rhetoric. Now, I did have this a couple of years ago, and I tried it with my oldest. It didn't quite work, but I think it would work for my younger. And so I will have to go through, there's a couple pages at the beginning where my oldest one wrote in it, so I'll just have to go through. I like the layout of this. I like that it's very open and go, that we can bite off as much as we want for a day and make it work. So I think that this will be a fantastic kind of start into a more formal writing curriculum. All right, clearing off some space on the table. Now, the next thing, I don't have it yet. It has not come out. It is going to be released at the end of June. So I will put up a picture right here. And that is our math curriculum, Math with Confidence, grade 3. My son has used grade 1 and 2 and has loved it. This is such a fantastic curriculum that gets him using mental math, but also using hands-on activities and games. So we will definitely be continuing with grade 3. That is our main math and language arts, so 2 of our 6. The next thing that I would love to do daily is history. We absolutely love History Quest. This will be our 3rd year using them. We started with early times, we are finishing up middle times this year, and then we will be going to US history, and civics is included as well. The part of doing our daily 6 is making sure that we hit history. This is my kids' favorite subject, and I don't want to put that on the back burner because we have run out of time in the day. It comes with the book, and this is as a read aloud. It is fantastic. The chapter is broken into 2 parts, and so the first one is kind of like the history and background, and the second part is what they call a history hop, and that is where you actually go back to that time and meet somebody from that time and learn something from them or see something. Or it is just fantastic. So we have that. I have my study guide, which if you saw my last video, I got bound. And this is just kind of, it has a schedule and ideas. There's map work that can be done, all kinds of things. So this will be just for me. And then I do have for each of my kids, but especially for my 3rd grader, a History Quest notebook. We are going to be using this kind of as an interactive notebook. So when we do a map, we can glue it in and put it in here. Or when we do our history hop, we can glue that and put it in here. There is copy work and dictation that comes in the study guide. And so if we want to do one of those, we can put it in here. I do also have this history timeline, and this is from School Nest. We love this. We have been using this since early times. As we get to something, we write it in, Most of the time I just write it as he's sitting here listening, but he has been attempting to write his own timeline. So we will absolutely be going with this. They love being able to see the overlap of different civilizations, that we're doing things at the same time. So we will be going on with that. And then because we are going to be doing US history, we are also going to be doing US geography. So we are going to be learning all 50 states. If I can get them to remember the capitals as well, that would be fantastic. But we are definitely going to be learning the states. So I went into Teachers Pay Teachers and found just a free blank US map that we can fill in as we are learning the states. I also found free printables about all the different regions, and so this is how we're going to break down learning the states. We aren't going to go in alphabetical order. We are going to go by regions. I think that just will help them make more of a connection of where these states are. And then the actual state page, this is from the Crafty Classroom, and we have used this before, but we set it aside, and I love the layout of this. So we can color the flag, we can map where the state is, we can label different features in the capital, and then just kind of fill in all of these. This is how we are going to learn US geography. After history is science. This is definitely something that has fallen off the back burner this year. Luckily, my soon-to-be third grader has found an outschool class that he has been doing and really loves. But I would love to bring it back kind of into the classroom a little bit and in our actual home. So I have a video doing a flip through of Science Fusion, and I will link that above. But this is what we are going to attempt to use this year. We will also have a separate science journal if there's anything from here like vocabulary or things like that that we want to write down. Or if we come across a subject that we would like to dive deeper into, we will absolutely put this down and get a little study science unit and use this as an interactive notebook. We are getting there. I'm going to take a sip of coffee and let's see, I think that was 4 of our main subjects. Something that totally fell off of our schedule for this year, and I really wish that it hadn't, is Spanish. We had been using Song School Spanish last school year, and we really liked it, and we were almost done. You can see, like, that's where we were. And it just fell off, and we were never able to pick it back up. I would like to. I am actually going to be starting, we have 9 weeks left of school, and I'm going to be starting a review of Song School Spanish so that we can kind of get caught up and remember what it was that we had learned and everything like that. I have his workbook, and then I have the teacher's edition. A good thing about the teacher's edition is that in the back, there are extra work pages that you can use as review. And so this is what we are going to be using to kickstart our Spanish again so that we can get caught up. I'm right now actually in the process of making photocopies of all of this, and this is how we are going to start our review until we get caught up with chapter 28, and then we will continue. And then to just show how much Spanish fell off the back burner, I have Song School Spanish Book 2 already. So as soon as we are done with reviewing and catching up and finishing the last few chapters of Song School Spanish Book 1, we are going to go right into Book 2. It is set up very similar to Book 1. I will say my kids do not like the songs, so we use them as just kind of spoken aloud practice, and that works great. The teacher's edition for Song School Spanish Book 2 is much bigger, and I am kind of thankful for it. The last subject that we are going to use as our daily 6 is probably the easiest. It's reading. My kids love to read most of the time. I will say that. Sometimes it's a little hard for them to pick up a book, and so I love having a stack of books that they can pick up when I am encouraging them to pick up a book and read. I have a stack of books that my son will be able to use for 3rd grade. It can vary. So I have Frog and Toad. I would love for him to finish this series. I think we have 2 more of the Frog and Toad books. He is beyond this level of reading, but I do think that it's just good practice and maybe help him build a little bit of more stamina to reading longer chapter books. And then we have some kind of more beginner chapter books, and this is really kind of where he is right now. And he's doing fantastic with it, so just to encourage it. And then we have some kind of bigger chapter books like Boxcar Children and some Beverly Cleary and things like that. That is definitely, you know, smaller print, more words on the page, less pictures, even though there are still going to be some pictures. That is how we do reading. I just encourage every day for him to pick up a book and read. He does a lot of reading on his own, but it's more, he likes to read like science books and Dog Man and stuff like that. So this is just a little bit more structured. I do usually make him keep a reading log. I don't know what we are going to use for that for next year yet. I will figure that out soon. I know, our daily 6, it's a chunk. The thing is, we keep lessons short. My kids don't really hold on to or have patience for lessons that are longer than 15 or 20 minutes. So while all of the daily 6 looks like a lot, and it is, I know that we keep small little chunks. And so hopefully with doing that, we can get through all of those before lunchtime. And if we need to, we can carry some over to lunchtime. But usually I find we kind of lose steam after lunch. So I have some extras, and these are things that are not going to be scheduled daily, but that if we have extra time, if we have a long trip to go on a field trip, or I just feel like they've been in front of the screen a little too much in the afternoon, they can easily come back here and pick out one of these books. I do have this Q&A book, and it is a question a day for kids, and it's for 3 years. And so they just go to the day, they have a question, and on year 1 they fill it out, on year 2 they'll go back and fill it out, and on year 3 they'll go back and fill it out. So I thought this would be a really cool way for them to first get some writing, but also to be able to go back and look at what their previous year's answers were. And I think that would be really fun. I also have this little time capsule book. Again, just a fun way for them to write or be creative and just kind of go in here and see what there is. Daily word ladders. This is one we have been using this year. We will not finish it. We're not going to finish it this year. And that's totally fine. Both my kids love this, and I know that my 3rd grader will love to continue with this, and so this will be a good extra. We are going back to handwriting with tears, and my 3rd grader is so excited. So we are going to be starting Cursive Kickoff, and I really like this one because it does start with manuscript before getting into the cursive. I think our last workbook for extras is logic, and so I found this little logic book to just kind of get us started. This has been a huge request from my 3rd grader. He definitely wants to get into logic, do more with that. It is harder to find a book for logic for 3rd graders, so we are going to start with this and see how he likes it. I'm hoping that we can incorporate more things like art. Luckily, with the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts, he will be getting a lot of art with that. And STEM. He loves doing any kind of STEM. He does STEM kits on his own now and things like that. So I'm really hoping that This will kind of free up our time so that in the afternoon we're not scrambling to try to get big things done, but that we can have more time for things like STEM kits. All right, that was a stack, but I am so excited about doing 3rd grade with him. He has been homeschooled since preschool when his preschool shut down for COVID, and he came home and I continued homeschool with him. And being able to go back and see how much he has progressed and learned, I absolutely love it. I am so excited about starting 3rd grade with him and continuing his learning experience. As always, if you like these kinds of videos, make sure to subscribe and like below, and I will have 7th grade coming soon.